My name is Raj Hedel. I'm with Giesecke & Devrient. Giesecke & Devrient is a solution security company with a 160 years tradition. Portfolio ranges in the meantime from banknotes up to the security solution for digital identities. Here on stage, I'm really pleased to welcome you to my presentation on the basic security principles, how to cyber shield the connected car. If we talk about the connected car, I think it's no longer just about mere telematics in a classical dimension as we know it from eCall legislation. It's about nowadays the inclusion of all vehicle components, including software updates to safety critical functions. It's about the inclusion of vehicle-to-vehicle, vehicle-to-infrastructure communication on the roadmap from assisted driving to autonomous driving. It's about the integration of the connected car into the digital ecosystems of mobility service providers, of payment service providers, entertainment service providers. Talking to car OEMs, we have learned that quite a few plan to ship all the new vehicles from 2019 onwards with connectivity. So here we are talking from 2019 onwards, 100% connectivity. Just to give you an example, during Hurricane Irma, you might have read in the news that Tesla has given its customers a lifeline by remotely boosting the battery capacity. To some of the cheaper models, it is limited just by software. So what they did, they gave the customers a free software update, so stuck in congested highways, they could really then get to the safe areas. Another example is in the recent press, Porsche announced to offer function-on-demand services as well by a software update. This means going forward, future cars will work similarly to what we are used from smartphones. Per app download, we can, over the lifetime of the car, we can upgrade the functionality. Some predict that future cars will send up to 25 gigabytes of data to the cloud per hour. And we have heard the presentation of the gentleman of BMW about the monetization of the car data. So it's happening right now. The backside of all these new functions and services is that services from the car, from a closed ecosystem, are opened up to digital platforms. So regardless from whether within the car, whether within the transmission link, or within the platform, the smaller security weakness might really hit the user. Picture a scenario I just read in a recent article from the Telegraph that summer Sunday morning, you go to your garage, you start your car to commute to work, but suddenly something feels wrong. Your infotainment screen is dead. Suddenly it flickers to life. But instead of the usual navigation map, what you see is a message. Your car has been locked. To unlock your car, please do a Bitcoin payment to a given account number. You might be one of many getting their first taste of auto ransomware. And this is exactly to the point where computer security intersects with public safety and human life. So things are really getting much more serious, and we should really get concerned about car security matters. So what is a fundamental principle of security? How can we protect the connected car against cyber attacks? So the baseline of information security is formed by the CIA model. So it's probably not what you think of. CIA here stands in terms of security for confidentiality, integrity, availability. Confidentiality is a principle of limiting access to information by authorized users only. Data encryption most of you probably know about, is a very common method to ensure confidentiality. Whereas integrity is your assurance that the information you rely on is trustworthy and accurate. So the principle of integrity is to protect the information against modification and deletion, alteration. Strong authentication measures as well, cryptographic checksums are common methods to ensure integrity. The third, availability. Availability is the assurance that you can access systems and information by authorized users when needed. It's a guarantee of reliable access to information. Safeguards which address availability are, for example, data redundancy, server clustering, virtualization, continuity of operations planning, amongst others. So to ensure a cyber-protected system, you should really watch for those three dimensions. A very prominent example where the CIA model was followed is SIM card technology. If you think about the SIM card stores all the security and identity information of the mobile subscriber in a security chip or smart card. And by the means of the IMSI, the International Mobile Subscriber Number, plus a key, the authentication key, the mobile device authenticates against the mobile network. And this is what we could fairly call strong authentication, so integrity is a given. Now, what about confidentiality? As you might know, GSM technology is converting all voice and data in a digitally encrypted bit stream before it is sent over the OTA link. Means as well confidentiality is guaranteed. And we all know that we daily rely on mobile networks, and in the meantime there are more than 7 billion SIM cards in the market. So availability from a server standpoint and a system standpoint is truly given. If we talk about a safe cellular link into the car for exchanging all the information, today most TCU box designs of cars already rely on eSIM technology. eSIM you can consider as a digitalization of the SIM card. So by software, you can define what is the mobile network operator, the SIM card, and thus the connected car is talking to. So while the eSIM provides the same security levels as a SIM card, you get greatly simplified logistics, and you have the flexibility to react on telecom and eCall regulations. For example, by eSIM management, we can detect where the car is getting exported to which country. And in case in this country permanent roaming is not allowed, we can push down a local profile. Or if a car gets exported to Russia, we could, via our eSIM management platform, trigger that the corresponding JSIC-LONA subscription is pushed down to the eSIM to be in compliance with eCall regulations. The beauty of the eSIM is that it could be even leveraged to store additional cryptographic keys. For example, for setting up a secure TLS link, data link, secure IP link into the car. And this is exactly what is exploited by the M2MD communications gateway. M2MD is a venture founded by former US telematics veterans, which we collaborate with. So the M2MD communications gateway provides you an instant and secure communication channel between the TCU box and any defined backend endpoint, typically the car OEM's backend. The principle of the gateway is to really rely on the well-established TLS standard, combine it with the hardware security of a SIM module, and to avoid this way all the pitfalls and complexity of PKI certificates. So the promise of the gateway is to have a secure link into the car in less than 3 seconds. And this is demoed outside, and we have many visitors which were really amazed how fast we could set up a link via the cellular network into the car. It doesn't need to come with any SMS signaling, and it comes at a fraction of the computational power you need otherwise. Now, we have created a secure link into the car, but how can we create a secure environment within the car's EE architecture? So when we would download a software package to the car from a server, we know exactly now it's well secured during the transmission, but we have no clue whether the software update is a genuine one or whether the software update has originated from a compromised server. Therefore, from our side, what we propose is to add a secure element to the central gateway as a fundamental trust anchor. So this secure element could serve as a vault for all the credentials we need to verify signatures from the software issuers or to verify information requests from remote entities which would like to access security critical data from the car. So by adding the secure element, we can transform the central gateway into a firewall which is directing the information flow only to entities that match the current security policies. Another big plus of adding this embedded secure element is that we could fully leverage the full power of smart card technologies and global platform standards. And this we could do in a way that we can enforce in a very fine granular way access management for private data reasons. Just think about your company badge. Company badge identifies you as an entitled person with certain access rights and privileges. Now, the same concept we could adapt to the various parties and entities which would like to access certain data of the car. Dependent on the roles and functions, we could distinguish here between the car driver, the mechanics, any third-party service providers, where based on their digital identities and based on their access rights, we could rule whether, this is an entitled information request or action, or we deny it. This concept of a role-based access management we have implemented in our what we call automotive security framework. Our automotive security framework you might consider as kind of a secure client-server architecture which comes as a managed service and would allow you to give you basically the interface, the API, to generate identities, to define permissions, to define privileges. And by this, we would have a complete and sort of communication, diligent control of the communication flow into the car and from the car. Now, we have created a secure link into the car. We have created a secure environment in the car. But as we all know, security is never 100%. So what we missed yet is a cybersecurity monitoring center. To complement here our security concept by a powerful intrusion detection and prevention system, we have partnered up with IBM. So IBM with QRadar, they are providing a security intelligence platform which continuously is monitoring what is going on in the car. From our side, what we have implemented is the QRadar agent, which gets trained to watch for and detect for abnormal patterns and events, which we then aggregate and report up to the cloud to the IBM QRadar system for further data analytics and detection of any cyber threats. In case really something went wrong and a cyber threat got detected, we have to implement an incident response plan. Like you know from computers and smartphones, what you typically can do is you simply play on a software patch. So as well here for the connected car, we need to have the ability to send a software patch to the car via a software update mechanism. So this service, OTA service capability got as well implemented in our automotive framework. So when needed, we can anytime play on to the car a software patch. What you see here, we can even then show graphical ways the hierarchy of the ECU and of the architecture, and always scan if there's a new software update available, and could then trigger the download and the push to always keep the security freshness up to date from the connected car. Last but not least, today we know all about multitudes of connected car apps. So as well, we should consider how to shield the smartphones, the connected car apps running on the smartphone. In former days, it was rather about the question how to integrate the car, how to integrate the smartphone into the car. Nowadays, it's how to integrate the car into the digital ecosystems and life spheres. So this trend turns clearly the smartphone into a remote control of the car, and there are as well many ideas on the table how to have a digital car key fob. So this means we need to equally protect the car apps on the smartphone as we look into the car's EE architecture. From our end, from our side, what we propose and provide here is a rich tool suite of security measures which could detect routing of the device. We have tools like code obfuscation, white box cryptography. We are applying here device fingerprint, so every smartphone comes with a unique software constellation, and this is always monitored as well by a backend server. And the backend service is as well from time to time injecting new keys to keep up with the freshness. And here we have a nice synergy with our mobile and cloud payment solutions, where exactly the same security mechanisms we can now here adopt to secure, harden, and shield connected car apps of the OEMs. Which brings me to the end of my presentation, where I would like to conclude with a brief summary of what we think are the essential security building blocks and components to build this cyber resilient environment for connected cars, where it starts with having a secure link into the car by an embedded eSIM and eSIM management functionality. With the secure communications gateway, we can set up very fast, instantly almost, a secure data link leveraging TLS protocols. The enforcement of a rigid identity and access management system by means of adding a secure element to the central gateway, monitored, supervised by identity prevention detection system, here in partnership with IBM. If there's a cyber threat, that we have the capability to play on a software patch into the car, and not to forget about cyber shielding the connected car apps on the smartphone. This is what we think is required and essentially needed for a holistic security concept for the connected car. Which leaves me to say and to wish you a cyber-safe drive, featured by security technologies from G&D. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I don't see any questions on Slido. Are there any from the floor? Does anyone have any questions? Oh, there is one. What commercial models do you usually enter into with OEMs?
Yeah, so our standard business model is to deliver those security services as a managed service. For example, like with eSIM management, we link up to all the MNOs, we get the input data, we create the MNO profiles and push them down via our service servers to the TCU boxes, and then we have an integration point into the car OEM's backend via our managed service APIs.